I did want to talk about something that's been on my mind lately. When we all know this story about John Lennon, I guess the person who killed him and got his autograph that morning, and then when him and his wife came back later that night, or later that day, he shot him and killed him. And then you might also remember Selena. She was also killed by, I don't know if you'd call her a super fan. I mean, maybe she was like president of the fan club. And Selena died at 24 years old. She was murdered. But there's also other influencers who have been killed. You might remember a YouTuber called Christina Grimmie. I wonder how you say her last name. In my mind, I want to say Grimy. When I look at it, I want to say Grimmie. So I don't know. But she was murdered at a meet and greet. And that was like in 2016. And just thinking like, wow, that's crazy. You don't even think about it. But of course that can happen. Look at Lennon. Look at Selena. And then Christina Grimmie, and she was shot. Like, I think she went to give this fan a hug. This person had driven in from another state with weapons. She went to give him a hug, and he shot her twice in the chest and once in the head. And then he killed himself. Those were public, right? But what happens when the stalkers start figuring out where you live and start coming to your home? And what happens when you don't have to be a Lennon or a Selena for it to happen? There's a TikToker, a teenager, who one of her stalkers came to her house, used a shotgun to blow a hole through her front door, and when he wouldn't leave or drop his weapon, the TikToker's dad had to kill this guy. In 2018, a YouTube couple, they were a gaming couple, a stalker, drove to their house, broke in, they hid in a closet, the police were called, and the guy that came there to kill them was ended by the police. Again, these are YouTube gamers. Somebody came to their house to do bad things to them. They don't even know this person. There was a Instagram influencer. I'm pretty sure she had like millions of followers on Instagram, Miss Mercedes Moore. She was killed by a stalker finding out where she lived. He came to her house, killed her, killed himself. A well check was performed, and that's how they found out that she was gone. Just somebody who was somehow found her address and was able to get to her. And you think these are like super fans, but they're not. These are haters. These people hate her, and it doesn't look like that at first. It looks like obsession, and it looks like all this other stuff, but it's not. It's hate. There was also 17-year-old Bianca Devins, who was targeted by another creator who killed her, filmed it actually in his car, posted pictures on Discord of her deceased body. And that brings us to yesterday, Friday, where a podcasting couple were killed in their home by a stalker who killed them and then killed himself. And how did he get their address? It's so disturbing. And I think I said this at the beginning, but I just wonder, are companies, especially companies like Alphabet, who own digital media platforms and have systems in place where somebody could abuse you, and in that process of abusing you, they get your address, they get your name, your address, your telephone number. They can go about abusing you in so many different ways. There have been influencers and people in the media who have been stalked on repeat, who've been killed for so many crazy reasons, mostly jealousy. And then there's going to be a company who enables it. It sucks because it's usually on the heels of someone no longer being with us that these type of things change, and it shouldn't be like that. We should change it now. Things should change now before another person is hurt on the heels of shitty policy. Whoops, sorry for the abrupt ending there. Like the video and subscribe. We'll see you soon.